Like your name, O God, your praise reaches to the ends of the earth. Your right hand is filled with righteousness. That's from Psalm 48. We read from verse 9 to 14 of that together this morning. God's praise reaches the ends of the earth. He is the God of all the earth. This was important for the first readers of this, who were used to each nation having their own gods. But the declaration here is that our God is the God of all the earth, and all the world praises him. And then we read from Luke 19, we read from verse 45 and over into chapter 20 and verse 26. It begins with Jesus cleansing the temple, driving out those who were selling in the temple. And then, of course, the next question obviously is, by what authority? Who gave you the authority to do these things? And Jesus didn't answer directly. He asked them a question. Who did John the Baptist get his authority from? Was his baptism from heaven or from human origin? And of course they didn't answer, because they said if they'd answered and said of human origin, the people would have stoned them. And if they'd have said from heaven, he would have said, well, why didn't you believe him? So they said, we don't know. And so Jesus also refused to give them the answer to their question. Neither will I tell you by what authority I'm doing these things. His authority should have been obvious. As he says in John's Gospel, if you can't believe my words, believe me for the sake of the works, the miracles, the anointing that was on him should have been recognized by these teachers of the law as his authority. He then told the parable of the tenants. This is a parable of a man who rented out his vineyard, and each time he sent a servant to collect rent, the servant was chased away, and in the end he sent his son, but they killed his son, hoping to inherit the vineyard themselves. And so the owner of the vineyard, what would he do? He will come and kill those tenants and give the vineyard to others. The people reacted really strongly to this. God forbid, they said, because they recognized this was the tale of Israel, that God sent prophet after prophet to Israel. The prophets were rejected, their message was rejected, and eventually Jesus came, the Son came, and he was rejected by the people too. And so that which belonged to Israel was thrown open for others to come into. And we as the church have inherited the promises originally given to Israel. Let's make sure that we don't reject the messages of God.